I have struggled becoming Michelle Gbagonah today. If I'm gonna be honest, the only thing I ever craved and looked for growing up was freedom.
What does that freedom mean to you?
Now, freedom to me is...
By the year 2030, they said the agriculture business in Africa is going to be worth billions of USD. Put your foot in there nicely. So I want you to talk me through what you have done and how somebody can model that.
So
the 22-year-old who's looking at it thinking, I want to get into farming. Do you think at the scale you have, is it lucrative enough for them to go into?
Okay, so farming is tricky.
Looking at you on the screen, the energy I see cannot be a person somebody can suppress.
Until I'm in love.
Welcome to Connected Minds podcast. My name is Derrick, and I'm your host on the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of the family. If this is your first time, can you hit the subscribe button and become part of the family? Today's conversation is with Diamond Michelle Gbagonah, and she's a queen mother. Today's conversation, we're going to be talking about money, success, personal growth, transitioning into who she is today. Michelle is also known as Michy GH. She's crafted her own identity, her own path. And now, even though people know her in music, as a TV host, as an actress, she's transitioned into being a businesswoman. And this conversation, I just want to find out why it's taking her so long to transition into that business. And then also the lessons she's learned from her life, her past, everything that she's been through. This isn't just a story. It is about reinvention, financial independence, and emotional growth. Stick with me and stay with me as I speak with the CEO and the founder of Juice Bay. How are you? Really? Like, that's the question. Like, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm very fine. I'm all over, if I can put it that way. My personalities pop up every now and then, so it shows in my work. The ads bring out that, so I'm okay, generally. I'm exhausted, but mentally, spiritually, I'm ready to move every time I wake up.
Every single time you
Every
wake up?
single time. Yeah, I'm ready to move.
Your growth has been beautiful to watch.
Thank you.
I'm sure your fans, your followers will testify that it's been like this, but then it's been very exponential. And the separation and the brand that you have now has been beautiful. Now, looking at where you started, it's like, the profile is got music, it's got TV host, it's got queen mother, it's got entrepreneur, it's got several things.
Yeah.
The biggest question that comes to mind is, what's really the motivation?
Would I call it motivation? It's just in my personality, my several personalities. It's crazy we're talking about this now because last night I was putting together like a collage of my journey. I call it a journey. And I've been every type of woman. From my own observation, I have been every kind of woman. I have tried my hands at several things. Would it be a motivation? I think I'm just in motion every time. Within me and outwardly, I'm in motion. I thrive on moving. I can't sit in one place. And I don't just want to be moving and doing nothing. I'm a jack of all trades, master of all. I try to be. If I don't know how to do something, I would accept the job. I'll learn how to do it and give my best, So I'm motivated by moving, by motion, if you can put it that way. Yeah.
That must have a root. It must have, there must be a reason why that fire keeps burning in you that makes you do several things. If you take it all the way back, where does that come from?
I would give that to my son. You know, I've always been in motion, but this time I'm moving with more purpose, more discipline, more, I'm more responsible with my movement. I'm not just jumping into anything, So I say my son is definitely the root for now, for this new phase of mine, yes. Yeah, but before I was moving because I wanted to move. I wanted to, it's not always been about making a mark. It's just me living. And fortunately or unfortunately, I'm either in trouble for living or I'm being praised for living. Any which way, I'm still living. So it's just me as a person.
Yeah.
It's just me as a person. Like I said, I have several personalities.
Okay, talk to me about that.
I wake up a different woman every day.
How?
I don't know how.
So how have you woken up as today?
Today, I'm in my very demure mood. Let's call it that. I'm here to meet you, so I'm kind of starstruck. I'm feeling cool today. Yesterday, I was in work mood. Yeah, ready to get things done. Literally enter the market myself to sell my harvest. Standing on my truck. Yes, so
standing on it.
Oh yes,
okay.
Yes. I do sell. I sell a lot of stuff. So I turned a luxury vehicle into a work vehicle. Yeah. So every day I'm a different person. I'm either calm or I'm hyped. I'm ready to, But I never wake up too dull to move.
You never wake up too dull to move.
No. I'm never too dull to move.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just once a month. The ladies will get it.
Ah, right. Okay. So would you say you're an extrovert?
Extrovert, as in when.
Right.
When necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, but I am 80% an introvert. I like my solitude. I like my alone time.
Yeah. Growing up, did you find that you had to prove yourself a lot of the time?
To family, yes. The expectations are very high sometimes. And I, for one, hardly ever met them. I only met them with my grades. So that was always like, my way to, she's brilliant, but she's stubborn. If I'm learning and I'm still trying to be a little rebellious, check the good side.
I'm just
Why are you still expecting?
I'm just trying to match where you are today and what you're doing to how you started off, growing up. Because, and I think you've said it quite well. I can only imagine that there were times in your life where you felt like you had to do so much to prove to people that you are worthy of getting either praise or recognition or being seen.
Yeah.
Right?
I haven't really struggled with being seen. It was more of being seen for the wrong reasons. Wrong reasons in the people's eyes. Like I said, unfortunately I've been in trouble in the bad news, bad press for living. So to me, I'm living that free bird lifestyle, and then it ends up. So I've not really struggled being in the light. I have struggled becoming Michelle Gbagonah today. And it's crazy how I'm still not struggling to be seen. I'm also not doing too much because I have realized I'm living my most authentic self. I am my most authentic self right now. And you are taking me as you get me, or you're forgetting about it. But everybody seems to be liking the authentic self.
Right. But how long has it taken you to get here?
I can't put a duration on it. But I think major change came in days, in a day or so. I just woke up and I'm like, I need to switch. I didn't need to. The mind switched on its own. So I do take a lot of time with myself. Like I said, solitude is everything to me. I can think, I can talk to myself, I can write down my notes. I can analyze my own self. I'm my biggest critic. So if I sit down, I'm like, you can do this better. I'll make sure I do it.
You motivate yourself?
Oh, yes, I do. I do.
A lot of people that...
I do.
A lot of people that tend to motivate themselves and push themselves a lot, they also tend to be... Sometimes the switch can also be on the emotional side, where they can find themselves... like almost... Because sometimes that happens to me, right? Where it becomes overwhelming.
Okay.
So much to take. You see what I'm trying to say?
As in the stress or the motivation?
The stress.
Oh yeah. It does get overwhelming. It does. That's just it. Alone time is very necessary for everybody. Zone out, as in when you can, without thinking of the next person. Unless you're gonna miss a business deal or something, feel free to zone out. It's good for your mental health.
Right. So, Michelle, growing up, young Michelle, what plans did you have for your life?
This question is hard. If I'm going to be honest, the only thing I ever craved and looked for growing up was freedom. I wasn't a typical child who said, I want to be a doctor, I want to be this. All those things were said by the people around me. But I, for one, wanted freedom. I've always looked for freedom. I was brought up in a very protective home. Like to even leave the house and buy something, sleepovers, school trips. No, never. So I felt like I was caged. It was for my own good, yes, but the only thing I ever wanted growing up was freedom. So if I ever rebelled, it was in search for that freedom. And I still don't have anything I, really say I'm going to be this. What I want to be is fulfilled. I want to leave a lasting mark on the people who come in contact with me every day. And I see that happening. I'm not making too much effort, but a lot of people are taking inspiration from my life. Day in, day out. I meet ladies, they talk about it, and I'm not doing anything too special. I'm just living.
But what does that freedom mean to you?
Freedom. Now, freedom to me is financial freedom, one. Mentally, you need to be free. You cannot have obsessive thoughts and expect freedom from anywhere else because that's the entanglement first that you have to deal with. So freedom in all aspects, except that I still have my son here, so I cannot just pick my bag and go somewhere. But that would have been the major part of freedom if I could just pick my bag and go somewhere.
Do you think you're on that path to that freedom you so search for?
I am, but I'm also of the opinion that I don't necessarily need the freedom. I would have gotten it a long time ago if I needed it.
Right.
Yeah. You won't get it.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe I get it later.
So you see, from home to another place where I don't have that total freedom. Now with my son, I have freedom. I don't have that total freedom to just do and move however I like. There's always something standing there to make sure I'm in check. It's just how nature has made it for me. The universe. Yeah. I sat down and thought about it. I'm like, yeah.
So really, there is nothing like true freedom.
For human, yes, there is. But not for women. No.
I mean, I don't think I want to agree with this one.
You have to.
I don't think, I personally don't think there's anything like true freedom.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Well, so far as you are still chasing something every day, still looking for something, it's never ending. I can agree with you.
Yeah, because even our desires bound us here.
Yeah.
Your desires alone, can prevent you from
moving,
being free.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's my little understanding of it. The time came when you had a company, Chop Yours. What happened?
Chop Yours is still running. So Chop Yours Foods is now legally registered, and under Chop Yours Foods, we have Chop Yours Shito, that's selling to high school kids, and then we have Juice Bay. Juice Bay the logo was designed by my son. If I tell you that this business was not part of my 2025 plans, you won't believe it.
What happened?
So I just, changed some things around the house. I'm like, no more fizzy drinks, let's go healthy. And at home, I always have to give something a nickname so that it would entice my son to kind of like it. If you're going to give him something, kids don't like their vegetables and their fruits, so give it a nickname. And so Juice Bay, I'm like, Juice Bay, Juice Bay's baby.
Okay.
And then I'm sitting there juicing one time, and he comes to show me on his gadget that he made a logo with a tagline under it. I was like,
Sorry, how old is he?
He's 9.
Wow.
He said I should call him a programmer.
A programmer?
A programmer.
Wow, but that's incredible.
Yeah, he likes to do this coding thing. And he made a logo. I'm like, okay, let me print it out, on something, on a pouch. And I went with it.
So the existing logo you're using was created by your son?
Yes. I've not touched it. I told the graphic designer who printed out that do not touch. He was even surprised that I was a 9-year-old who did it.
You see, sometimes I really think that something really happens to responsible parents when they have children.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, it's like some wire that, I don't know. It's happened to me, it's happened. Some people it's marriage, some people it's children.
Okay.
But if you're responsible enough,
Yeah.
if that thought is ever there, a spouse or a child will do something to you.
Definitely. My son did that for me. Yeah, my son gave me something that I've not gotten.
What do you think it is?
It's just pure, genuine love, a genuine connection. It's like he's thinking, I'm thinking the same thing.
Like this business entrepreneurship venture you're on, do you think you're doing it because of him?
I have always been like an entrepreneur. I've grown up seeing my mom run several businesses at the same time. So I'll say I got that from her. But, I have to keep the home running. So definitely because of him, I got to work. But this food business is like, everything is under the food. So we're gradually building the company.
Okay.
It's not like I'm just working for working's sake. No, we're building Chop Yours Foods as an umbrella.
Right.
With several companies under.
So the main, like the main company.
Yes, it's Chop Yours Foods. Yes.
Okay. And then everything else.
And everything else.
Juice Bay, Ghana Limited,
Juice,
everything else.
Yes.
The farm project you have.
So the farm was supposed to be under that, but I had to register it on its own. So we have Chop Yours Foods and we have Michelle Farms. Combination of Michelle and Majesty.
So really, what's the plan? Like, what's the plan for this whole entrepreneurship ventures? Like, someday. What's the bigger picture?
Like I said, it's an umbrella. So we're going to build all the companies till they have gone past survival. And then we're looking at factories, we're looking at, I'm looking at my competitor in the market.
Okay.
And it's a huge company. But you got to set the dream very big. I read a quote somewhere that says, dream as big as you can and then give the bill to God. He can afford it. So me, I dream. I have bought things without pain. When I say this, I mean I have manifested things. I have claimed that I've bought this before I even knew how I was going to get the money to buy it.
Okay.
So
Queen Mother. You're going to have to explain a little bit.
No.
There's a young guy listening.
It's the power of manifestation. You are who you think you are. You are who you believe you get what you believe you will get. So if you are always moving around like, oh, my business is struggling, your business will struggle. If you are grateful for the little progress you have made, it would increase. So I feel like I'm manifesting everything I'm doing. I have a dream, I have a vision, and the pieces are coming together.
You've always been entrepreneurial. Yes, I also heard in an interview that you did as well. But I think we are really seeing it now. Why?
I have an answer to this, but I hope the answer will not be controversial. I would try to be as diplomatic as I can. Until recently, until some happenings, I probably thought I was not capable. This is the first time I've held a business over 1 year. And it's not just one, it's several businesses in motion at the same time. Sometimes you can be in a space and you feel you are not capable because you're not growing in that space. You are not able to explore your own capabilities.
Let me stop you here for a minute. If you've been watching this show, I want you to subscribe and become part of the family. We are on a journey of changing the lives of people on this channel. And we appreciate you for being here. But if you haven't become part of the family, connect with us. Hit the subscribe button. Now let's carry on the conversation.
Are you getting it?
I am.
Yeah. That's as diplomatic as I can get.
I am.
I'm surprised at myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. Like, wow, you're doing it. And you're doing it very, very well. Before I didn't think I was, because I've started businesses.
You think that the environment, the company we keep has an influence on us?
A big time. Big time. You are the company you keep. And it's either you are pushing them to grow and forgetting yourself, or expecting that as you push them, they come back and push you. Human nature doesn't work like that. It's not a movie. This is not a telenovela. It's life. You can be in an environment where you feel you are giving your all and expecting, consciously or unconsciously, that the same will be done for you. At the end of the day, you'd find yourself rather being drained. Our environment, our network, our circle.
When I look at you and forget, like, I'm not even talking about today.
Yeah.
Looking at you on the screen, the energy I see cannot be a person somebody can suppress.
Until I'm in love. No, seriously. Women, we are naturally like that. Some of us. Let me not generalize it, but I feel women were wired to let the man shine. So I always say, if I'm gonna be with somebody, you need to pour into me. I need to see you appreciate what I'm doing. Not take from me. Taking from me can be as little as sarcastic comments. That can kill. It can totally kill a business idea before even.
Do you remember the question I first asked you about little Michelle? What dreams you had?
Yeah.
And then you spoke about, seeking freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
And then I've just asked you this question about why you did not start your entrepreneurial venture earlier on enough. And what you just said, now I'm just thinking, at a point in your life, you wanted freedom away from something. At a point in your life, you wanted to bring out your entrepreneurial venture, but you couldn't. Something was stopping you.
Yeah.
It's happened twice in your life now.
Yes.
What lessons have you drawn from that?
It's never happening again. It's never happening again.
How are you going to make sure of that?
I'm grown now. Mentally, I am grown. I know what I want. I know my worth. And I'm not compromising. No. I'm not compromising. You are matching my energy or you are not. So if I have to do this journey alone and get to the top, I will. We'll meet at the top. There's no room for another of that to happen right now. Because, I'm growing. I'm not getting any younger. By 40, I should be retired. Lying in my jacuzzi in Miami somewhere.
That's right. You speak a lot about your pension as well. I was watching some interviews and then you kept saying, when I go on pension, go on pension.
Yeah.
And I said, this is such a correct thinking to have.
Yeah.
Because, we're not going to be like this forever. The time is going to come where even coming up the stairs.
I'm telling you. Look, you see me punching. They're just catching up with me.
So we really have to do something now.
Yeah. What are you doing now? Building wealth here? Or you're just going to continue blaming God and life? Sometimes you blame Satan.
But Michelle, fame. Fame. When you have fame here, this part of the world, what does it do to you mentally? That it makes, and let me keep my thoughts, but let me ask you, what does it do to you mentally?
It can be draining. It can be draining because everybody has an opinion. But I always say, they talk about what you give them. I give you what I want you to talk about. I don't just give you news. So you got to be cautious. I don't really consider me famous. No.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't be standing in the market selling juice bay by the road. No. If you're going to consider yourself famous when you know that the bank account is not reflecting famous, then you're lying to yourself. You're telling yourself a big lie. Are you using the fame to build that wealth, or you're just going to keep showing up for the people who are calling you famous?
That was a lie.
Yeah, because if you keep showing up for them, you go broke trying to prove that you are famous. They say you are famous. You got to dress the part, go to places. That costs money. Whereas you can still be famous, popular. Let's call it popular.
Popular, right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, popular. And, kind of switch the dynamic around, use it for your benefit instead of just plain famous. So I don't consider myself famous, no. I don't like the tag, actually. I'm popular.
By the year 2030, they said the agriculture business in Africa is going to be worth billions of USD. Billions. You've put your foot in there nicely. Some of the people that listen to me, it will surprise you that about 95% of my audience are young men. 95.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I say that if the conversation is about how to make money, the men jump onto it.
Yeah.
Usually if it's, entertainment and gossip, then it's something else.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk me through what you have done and how somebody can model that.
Okay.
Agric-wise.
So luckily for us, we have a government in power that's pushing the agriculture agenda, and it's a good time to take advantage. I'm still in the first phase. Let's say I've elevated a little to the second because we're harvesting. So we're harvesting okra and cucumbers. We're growing peppers as well on a 2-acre farm. It's not been all rosy. It's been quite a journey from land preparation to harvest. Making the mistakes with chemicals, with staff. So if anybody wants to do farming, yes, you can, but then be ready. Be ready for the stress. The Ghanaian employees' attitude towards work will be your first problem. Yes. So if you come visit me at the farm, you realize that my staff are Nigerian.
Why?
That's what I said. The Ghanaian employees' attitude towards work. They feel like it's a feeling of entitlement, but they don't treat foreigners like that when they work for foreigners.
Okay.
So I don't understand why, but the more we try to understand, the more time we're wasting. And so we just find who's ready to work. So it's that, we're at harvest earlier than I expected. We're supposed to harvest, yes, because they're dedicated. And I'm learning on the job every day. I'm inviting people to come help me out, advice. What do we do? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? So you should also be ready to take lessons from existing farmers. Doesn't have to be an elderly person. Like, trust me, so many people have such knowledge in farming that it will surprise you. They just walk in there like they don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're at the point where we're ready to expand. I'm ready to expand, even though it's too soon. But I want to be able to harvest on a larger scale.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like you said, I've done a lot of jobs. I've done influencing, and I know how much I can make from shooting a video on my phone from the comfort of my home. So if I'm gonna farm, I want to see the equivalent of that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
To be at that scale.
Yeah, I'm grateful for where I am, but I can do much better. I don't have to wait till, I've gained the knowledge,
But that at this level, to you it may not be, but to the 22-year-old who's looking at it thinking, I want to get into farming. Do you think at your level, at the scale you have, is it lucrative enough for them to go into?
Okay, so farming is tricky. On a small scale, it's lucrative for the market woman and not you, the farmer. Yeah. Because let's say I'm selling an entire basket of okra for 300 cedis. And she's going to count it. 5 pieces for maybe 4 cedis or 5 cedis. You know how many are in a basket? You understand? So she's making the money. But if I'm harvesting on a larger scale, 10, 20 acres, I don't have to bother about her, about the market woman sales. You understand? Because I'm going to be making my money in multiples. So I don't mind. You can definitely, as a young person, I wish I would have started earlier. Yes. What's better than feeding yourself? There's some fulfillment in plucking my own veggies, and it's Feed Ghana project. So.
Feed Ghana project,
yes.
Indeed. For you, a lot of these projects that you're doing, is it? Sometimes it's like you need a lot of. You like your alone time, but like me, I get bored very easily, right? So over the years, I've started probably about 16 businesses, majority of them online, e-com, drop shipping, plenty.
Okay.
Right. Because I get bored.
Oh.
So I want the next challenge, then the next, then the next. I mean, the past few weeks I've been thinking about this podcast and I'm thinking, Charlie, okay, I'm going to add more cameras instead. Okay. Instead of 5 cameras, okay, now I'm going to
You almost gave me a heart attack.
Right. Just to increase the challenge,
Yes.
And now I'm moving the studio to somewhere else just to have round table conversation. So I get bored very easily. For you, all these projects that you're doing, is it because you also want some activities happening, or it's actually deeply rooted in a bigger goal? You see what I'm trying to say?
Definitely rooted in a bigger goal. And if you notice, all my jobs are centered around people. Right. So I enjoy taking care of people. I enjoy being the people's person. I'm mother to all. So I find myself doing stuff that definitely involve, like I said, the bigger picture, the bigger goal is the factories for the Jews, expanding, which we're currently going to do. We have an NGO as well.
Yes. Project SOS.
Yes, Save Souls, yes. So now I have 3 legally registered businesses that I have to build. And that is my focus for the next...
How many years?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like now I'm in a comfortable lead. So 2 years max.
You know, part of the reasons why sometimes I keep moving from one business to the other, well, in the past, it used to happen a lot, was because when I'm doing one thing and then maybe this is making me like $100 a day, and then I move into the next venture and it's making me 200, and I leave this one.
Oh no.
Right.
Okay.
Now I know better. So my question is, if you get a business that is making you more money than you're making now, would you just leave these ones and go?
No.
Okay.
No. You should have different streams of income.
Right.
So for every company, I have an account. I don't touch money from here. I don't touch money from here. You shouldn't just leave it. To me, that's being inconsistent, and I don't like feeling inconsistent at all. Like I said, I felt like that before. I felt inconsistency to me is not being capable. And so if I've tested being capable, I'm not going back. If I hold something, I get something that's making much more, we're adding it to the routine. Let's go. You know, I wish I can clone myself.
Sometimes I wish to.
Oh yeah.
Because you know you can count on yourself and get the job done.
Seriously, I would definitely not leave one job hanging for another. No, not anymore.
Awesome. Now, anyway, on the 29th of August, the British Council, we have our first live event, and it's titled Revealing the Success Code. So it's actually going to be teaching. It's not going to be storytelling, like me telling you my story. I'm going to teach you some strategies. There's going to be a few other people. There's going to be, I think, 5 speakers. I'm not going to release them yet. So I'm going to put all the details in the description, and you can register your interest if you want to show up for that event. Let's talk about what's your biggest regret? And remember, this is a learning.
I have to think about that. Let's not call it regrets.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's call them lessons. So I don't have no regrets. No. If I could go back in time, I'll do a lot of things differently. But unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity. So let's just say everything has been a lesson. No regrets.
The young girl that is looking at you now, thinking, what can I learn from her path? What would you tell them?
Just be yourself and let life take you where you are supposed to go. Not where you want to go, where you are supposed to go. I say this because becoming a queen mother was nothing I ever thought about would happen to me. And this opportunity comes and it's a total lifestyle change. At the time, my inner voice was telling me the same thing. It's like you've gotten to a point, you need to listen to yourself. You realize there's a small voice in your head. The more you listen to it, the louder it gets. And I can tell you for a fact that before becoming a few weeks, I could feel changes. I feel like I'm drawn to something else, not what I was drawn to even probably a few weeks ago. And I listened to me in everything. Seriously. And so when it happened, I'm like, let me take this opportunity. It's the step forward. So I've not planned a life, but I'm allowing life take me where I'm supposed to go.
That's because you are in a place of knowing now.
Yes.
But that young girl may not be at that place of knowing.
If you shut out the noise, you can be. I've met a couple of very wise young people who are aware of themselves. it's not you that you don't need to be old enough to know yourself. You just need to quiet your mind, quiet yourself, analyze. It shouldn't be too difficult. I wish somebody had told me this hard truth years ago, And it's not too difficult. Just sit down. I'm chilling too much. I'm in the club 5 days a week. To yourself, is it good or bad? Okay, then you wait. I'm spending more. I'm coming back home. Need to get my hair done just to go out and come back. I'm so wasted. I cannot be productive the next day. Speak to yourself.
I just love it.
It's as simple as that. You don't need to be old. Just allow life to take you where you're supposed to go. And make the job easier for life by just analyzing.
Let me stop you here for a minute. If you've been watching this show, I want you to subscribe and become part of the family. We are on a journey of changing the lives of people on this channel. And we appreciate you for being here. But if you haven't become part of the family, connect with us. Hit the subscribe button. Now let's carry on the conversation. But do you think you intervened in that process a few times?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did. By listening to that inner voice. They always say when you're doing something bad, you hear somebody say, don't do it. Inner voice. Yes. You listen to it, it tells you, it guides you. You in your guts, you can feel it. What I'm doing is right. What I'm doing is not. We all do. We are just very disobedient beings. I tell you, we all hear that small voice guiding us.
I know exactly what you're talking about. What I really want to know is when you discovered that you have a voice inside.
I knew I had a voice, but I didn't pay attention to it.
So when did you start paying attention to it?
Can I put a time to that? It's been a while. It's been a while. And I can tell you, you can see the change.
I definitely can.
Yeah. I'm being guided. I'm allowing myself to be led.
The other change that I'm not exactly sure is that you want to go into politics. that one that I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, it could be a path.
It could
you never know.
It could be. But then I don't think I can anymore. I don't know about chieftaincy and politics.
Okay.
And politics too might limit me. It might limit the help I can offer to people. Yeah. I can't be mother of all and then I'm in one party. I'm mother of just the party people. No. I want to be,
able
for
to
everybody.
As many people as you can.
Yes. Touch as many lives without it being partisan.
Yeah.
If the parties want your help, I will take the help.
Definitely.
But I cannot belong and say, leaving some people out. Yeah.
It is not going to be possible for me to conclude on this conversation without understanding the long path you took and why you decided to also go into music. Music was definitely not in my plan. It wasn't a challenge I thought I knew I had. Let me put it that way. Like I said, I was in a circle, so automatically, I have a love for music, but as a musician, I don't think that was ever part of my plan. That just happened. And we can say it happened at the right time because most of those songs are still hits. It still boils back down to letting life take you, understanding. And when it's not like life is just taking you and you are taking everything, you should also know. Yep, go on. Yeah, I like it. You should also know.
You should also know when the time is up.
Yeah.
It's time to flip a new chapter. If you're going to stay on that page, you will keep writing till there are no lines to write. Flip when it's time to flip.
But I think a year ago, you released a music video though.
I think 2 years.
2 years ago.
Yes. So I got the opportunity to shoot that in collaboration with Femme Fatale Studios. I was working for the other company and they're like, let's shoot a video.
So is music something you still want to pursue?
I actually released the whole EP last year.
Wow, Queen Mother.
Yeah.
So you're not. It's something that is carrying on.
for fun. But
Right.
now I don't think money we are looking for is not amazing. No. I'm trying to build wealth. I'm not trying. I'm building the wealth.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So we have to look at for how long can we do this, and for how long can we do that.
God, I just it's wow. Okay. I want to ask, is there anything we can still discuss that we haven't?
What do you think?
This is usually a question for my guest.
Oh,
Yeah. So is there anything we can still talk about?
what do you want to talk about? The future is bright. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. Maybe we should talk about you, Derrick. Because you've been interviewing everybody.
Yes.
Yes. We want to know, we your viewers.
Yes.
You need to give us some more info.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. So I'm planning on that.
Yeah. You need to switch seats.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you be the guest.
That's true.
That would be nice.
It will happen at some point. It will happen at some point. Yeah, it will happen at some point. I planned it for this year, beginning of this year with someone, but it didn't happen because he had to travel a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, so it didn't happen.
That'll
So
be
hopefully it will happen, God willing, next year. Yeah.
We'll be looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll be looking for it.
When did you realize that money was so important in life?
It's always important. I've always known that.
Because I feel like now you're making more money moves than you've ever done.
Yeah. We're trying to build it for the generation to come. Before, making money was to spend it. Now it's not just for the spending. You know, you always hand to mouth, get money, we chop, get money out, parties, or blow it. No. Now I want to see what I'm using my money for. I have an expenditure book. Even if I buy water, I write it.
Wow.
Because you see, I hear people say, "Oh, I don't know, money comes in my hands and it's gone. They'll be walking from church to church." No, you've spent it. Write it down so you can remember. Write it down so you can remember.
You spent it indeed.
Write it down so you can remember. Money has always been important. It's just that now we're using the money for important things.
Wow. That's a line. Hey, you guys that are cutting this thing, you better cut it properly. Motivation or discipline?
Ooh. That's a tough one. Motivation without discipline cannot work. Discipline.
Okay.
Discipline. Motivation can come after that.
Okay.
Yeah, discipline. You need to be disciplined. I keep saying I'm building wealth. I starve myself of a lot of things. Discipline. You know, I want to do this, but I can save up for this and make a bigger purchase that will give me more. So sacrifice is discipline in a way, you know, to do something for the long term. So discipline before, not over, before motivation.
You know, randomly, I got this question in my head. If you were a 16-year-old young girl, would you be looking up to you?
Me looking up to my new self, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably looking up to the old one. The old me was fun too. You know, the old me was fun. We did try to do good things in the midst of my chaos. Yeah. I would look up to me. Yeah, let me give myself a pat on the back. Because at every point in my life, I have touched lives. You know, it's just me as a person, you know. So.
Amazing. Now, this question is the most important question on the podcast. The best advice you've ever received. I've interviewed over 170 people. And every time I ask that question, I get that look.
They go silent.
Yes.
Because a lot of us are juggling life on our own. So it's not really getting advice from anywhere. It's just you thinking on your feet. I, for one.
Michelle, you don't have anybody in your life that you can pick up the phone and then call and say, this is not working. How can you speak to me so that I feel cool again?
No, it's the other way around. When we spoke on the phone, I told you I should start charging for consultation. Yes, because my friends of all ages find me comforting when they speak to me. So I have people calling me more for advice. And I'm like, sometimes I look at the family, are you richer than me? Why are you calling me? You know, so I don't really have anybody else.
So if you were to get yourself into, like, you don't feel like you're not motivated right now.
Yeah.
There's nobody you can pick up the phone to call?
No. Who would I call? No. I would say my mom, but she will pick the bow and arrow. No, she might inflict more wounds. No.
I was on the live a few days ago on TikTok, and somebody asked me this question that sometimes it gets tough. How do I deal with it? And my answer to him was that, the phone and the cover. The cover is the support system for the phone.
Yeah.
So when the phone drops, at least it can cushion the damage. I have at least 5 people in my life. And that has been, look, sometimes it's tough. And sometimes I have to book a ticket and go and see a mentor.
A mentor.
Like sometimes I have to do a Zoom call with one of them. There were times, a lot of trouble in the pharmacy. I had to go to see one of my bosses in Village. You just sit with him. 75-year-old man.
And he
just spoke life. Because sometimes it's hard,
It is. But you men can have mentors with no problems.
Why can't
It's not that easy with women.
Why?
You know why? Especially in this Ghanaian setting, mentors always usually go left.
Who is left?
Left is
Yeah, left is here.
left.
This is my
off
left.
topic.
Left.
You get
Off topic, right.
pick 10 strong women or bustling entrepreneurs and ask them about their mentors. 10. You would find small issues.
I see.
Yeah. So with me, I totally avoid it. Wow. No. The men in my life, business.
So you can't find like 5 ladies, like 5
ladies?
women that you can take advice from?
In this country.
Yes, in this country.
That don't feel like we are competing against each other.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm yet to find them.
Wow.
I'm yet to. I'm a loner like that. I try to figure everything out on my own. When I hit a brick wall, I say a prayer, I go to bed, I wake up refreshed. I have my little son too there who is as entertaining as he can be. So I don't really, my phone rings for work and nothing else.
Wow. When was the last time you read a book or listened to a book?
About 3 weeks ago. I don't know if the title, you'll have to
Right.
blur it out.
Right. But what would be your favorite, like, recommend a book for my audience? What would it be? Either an audiobook or...
Audiobook? Most books are audiobooks now. Is it 48 Laws of Power?
48 Laws of Power.
Yes.
Robert Greene.
Yes,
Awesome.
Robert Greene. And any other book by Robert Greene. Yes. I see the UT story. I've read that as well. Yeah, which is quite nice. The Subtle Art of...
Yep.
That was the last book I read.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just needed to fine-tune the art. Yeah. So
Do you think books help?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. We're lucky to be able to access audiobooks now, so you can be driving and still, listening to a book. So Books do help.
Amazing. Do you have anything for my audience? There's a camera right in front of you, right here.
It's been nice being on your show. It's been an honor, Derrick. Thanks for the opportunity. I'd like to tell everyone looking at me today who feels a little down, not motivated, to pick up the pieces. Start somewhere. Start afraid. Just start. And please, if you do get an idea, don't wait. Enforce it. You never know. Do you agree, Derrick?
100%.
Yeah.
Usually when this is happening, I zone out and just allow you to flow. But I love it. I'm still trying to get the secret as to how she's able to hear that voice. So when I find it, I'm going to put it in the description, the exact method, how she hears the voice and how it expands and becomes much, much louder. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your time being here.
Yeah, I appreciate
and hopefully I see you do bigger things, and I would love to come and see your farm.
Please.
Yeah, I'd love to come
Wear
and
some
see
boots
it.
before you come.
Love to come and see your farm. So thank you so much. And thank you, viewers, listeners. My name is Derrick Abaitey. Stay connected, and I'm out.